Hi everybody! Welcome back to NextGen Expertise with Sunshine. On today's episode, I'm going to be spotlighting TempDev's EHR flu vaccine clinic template. If your practice is running a flu vaccine clinic, you are providing a vital community service. But documenting and billing for a high volume of flu vaccines is time-consuming. Our flu vaccine clinic template will allow you to document flu vaccinations for multiple patients without having to go into their individual charts. It'll also let you record vaccines within 3 to 5 clicks. Your practice will be able to set separate billing configurations for adults and pediatrics and for payers like Vaccine for Children and Medicare. Our template can help your practice save time by automating billing for immunizations and administration codes. Not only that, but it can help your clinic improve their clinical quality measures for MIPS Measure 100, NQF 0041, and HEDIS. Finally, it'll help your practice comply with public health reporting requirements for immunization registry interfaces. Do I have your attention yet? Let's go take a look. Our flu vaccine clinic template is a practice template. So to launch it, we're going to go to the File menu, scroll down to System Practice Templates, and click on the Practice tab. My flu vaccine clinic template is one of my preferred templates, so to launch it, I'm going to just double click on it. Upon launching the template, you'll notice that the template looks very familiar. We've kept the same look and feel as the regular KVM templates. We will break down this template panel by panel. We're going to start with the patient search panel. There are a number of ways I can search for a patient. The first one is a manual search. We can utilize any of these fields to populate a patient. If I wanted to look at patients with the last name ZZ Test, I can go ahead and type that in the last name field and hit search. What returns in the grid are the patients that have that last name. Alternatively, I can search patients who only have appointments by checking this checkbox. By default, it will give me today's appointment date, and if I wanted to take it a step further and filter it down by the resource, I can go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and choose Dr. James Goodby. You'll see that these patients are on Dr. Goodby's schedule. Let's select a patient by clicking on them. When I click Carly Test, you'll notice that the rendering provider is Vanessa Riley. Vanessa requires a supervising provider. I'm going to click in this field and I'm going to choose Laura Miller as her supervising physician. Alternatively, I can click into the rendering provider field and choose an alternate provider. Let's choose Laura. Laura doesn't require a supervising physician, and that's why that field is now hidden. Keep in mind that these fields automatically populate from the 4-point check provider here at the top. From the patient search panel, I also have the ability to open the patient's chart. By clicking on Open Chart, it will launch the chart of the person who's currently highlighted. Let's move on to the patient allergy panel. For those of you familiar with the immunization workflow, you'll notice that this patient allergy section is familiar. What would display in this grid below is if the patient currently had any allergies documented in their chart. My patient Carly Test does not currently have any existing allergies. We need to mark if the patient has any known allergies to neomycin, egg, latex, or gelatin. I can click No to All Common Allergies, and that will default all of these buttons to No. Now, if the patient did have an allergy, I can go ahead and choose that radio button accordingly. But for this instance, I'm going to say that she is not allergic to any of these allergies. Let's go to the next panel, which is the vaccine checklist panel. Within our vaccine checklist panel, we have 11 questions that are typically asked when we're giving a vaccine to a patient. If I check the All Normal button, it will default all the answers to these questions to No. If I needed to change any of these answers, I can click on the radio button that follows underneath the correct response. Okay, let's move on to the vaccine administration panel. Within the vaccine administration panel, we have quite a few options. The very first thing that we can see is going to be the grid of all of the patient's previous immunizations. Depending on how your template is configured, it will either default to VFC or non-VFC. I'm going to leave this on non-VFC for now. To start the documentation of the immunizations, we're going to click into the lot number field, and a pop-up window with the current vaccine inventory that's built will populate. Go ahead and choose the vaccination that you'll be administering to this patient. Because the inventory was built on the back end, the majority of the different fields here automatically populate. Once you've validated all of the fields are correct, click in the Site field to document where you administered this immunization. We gave Carly's immunization in her left glute. You'll also notice that the registry automatically defaulted into the template, And if this was a VFC patient, the funding source and the VFC reason would automatically populate based on how the template was configured. Within the immunization details, it also defaults who ordered this immunization, who documented the consent, who provided the educational materials, and who administered the immunization. If I need to change the vaccine administration date, I can do so by checking this checkbox. In our scenario, we had a flu clinic over the weekend, and that is when our patient received their immunization. So I'm going to backdate this to March the 4th and click OK. And you'll notice that that date actually changes. If I had any comments or notes to document regarding the immunization details, I can do that here. But you'll notice that I have 4 different options. I have the option to save and add COVID, and what that will do is it will save this flu immunization and allow me to add a COVID immunization. I also have the option to clear, which will clear out this template. The other option I have is to save and add new, and what that will do is it will save this information and allow me to add another immunization or another flu immunization for another patient. And the last option is to save and close. That's going to save this immunization and close out the template. For now, let's go ahead and hit save and add new. Upon hitting save and add new, that cleared out the template and allowed me to come back up here and choose another patient. Let's scroll down to the bottom of this template to review the final panel. The final panel that we have on this template is the vaccine administration log. As you can see, I've given Sunshine ZZ Test a immunization today. I know you're probably thinking, where's Carly? We just gave her an immunization. Well, remember, we backdated Carly's immunization date to March 4th. So if I change this date to March 4th, Carly should display there. And there she is. If I wanted to document any additional notes regarding this immunization, I can go ahead and click on the patient and type my notes here. These notes will display in the orders module. Finally, I do have the option to open the patient's chart from the vaccine administration log, and I can also create an immunization record document. Let's go ahead and launch Carly's chart. When I launch Carly's chart, you'll see that I have an encounter from March 4th, and that's again because we backdated that encounter date for her. I have an immunization template along with a VIS form that is connected to the immunization that I gave, along with the procedures and orders module. The procedures module is listed here because upon me saving that immunization, it automatically charged for the immunization. Similarly, the orders module is here because it also documented the immunization that was given. If I click on the immunizations tab, you'll see the influenza vaccine that was given today. And there it is. I hope you enjoyed this spotlight of TempDev's flu vaccine clinic template. If you're interested in purchasing our template, please email us at info@tempdev.com. You can also visit our website at www.tempdev.com. Finally, you can give us a call. Our phone number is 888-TempDev. That's 888-TEMPDEV. Until next time, talk to y'all later.